I should warn you that the cutting and editing and blah 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 clips stuff will be a little bit sloppy, just due to needing to get this done. So, without further ado, I'll show you qualifying of the final race on the F122 game for me. Let's go.
Okay, so we get a power unit failure.
Here we are in
Random
Q1. When I say I mean I'll ignore myself on the stream, basically
using
means I'll be talking over myself. Hopefully I'm loud enough that you can't hear the other me. If I'm not, oh well, my bad. Here we are at the end of qualifying 1. We only had a single lap, Hurst P4, a 10th off Lewis in P1. As you can see, Ricciardo, Vettel, Stroll, Schumacher and Latifi knocked out Q1. No need to dwell, so let's go to Q2. So here we are, end Q2 now. Getting the XP, not skipping it, don't know why. It's not like it's of any importance. And as we go through, Lando provisionally pole, we're down in 4th. Nearly 2 tenths behind. Verstappen right behind us is in P5, sorry. Ocon, Gasly, Albon, Joe and Tsunoda are out. Ocon, not really surprised from previous seasons, however, if you look at this season, it is a bit of a surprise because he has got into Q3 multiple times, more so than Perez, I think, in real life.
Need to do 2 runs.
So here we go in Q3, going on our final lap, showing you round. Haven't done this recently, and so pre-session, pre-info. This is going to be our second lap. We did a first lap, put us P4, and so we're going again to try and improve and get pole positions, breaking into turn 100 meters into the apex. We're not running wide at the exit, and we're up a 10th at the moment. I can't remember how many tenths we need to gain, but it's quite a few. Heading into turn 5 and then braking just before the curbing, and just missing the apex, but going out wide enough that we try and gain some more time. 2 more tenths as we open DRS, heading towards turn 5. 2 tenths in the air is where we good. Braking down into the chicane. There we go, 100 meters. Turning in a little bit early, lock up a little bit, we go a little bit deep. Cut back for the second apex, we lose a little bit of time through all of that, but on the exit we do gain some, and we're almost 4 tenths up as we head into sector 3. Braking at 50 meters into the apex, just a little bit wide of the curb, but it's fine, it's a long corner, we run it, don't matter, it's the exit that counts. And we are now almost 5 tenths up, heading into sector 3. Brake for turn 12, clip the apex nice and early. Over the curb for turn 13, 14, kiss the apex into 15 and 16. Over the curbing, not touching the exit curb, into the final corner, over the curb, and we are 9 tenths up.
There we go.
And it's pole position. You may have just been able to hear me in the background shouting, there you go. I will try letting myself talk sometimes, but if it's not relevant, then I will ignore myself.
Pole position, let's go.
So, yep, pole position for the final Grand Prix of the season. Nicely done. And there we go. 3 tenth margin to Charles in second. We were originally 4th. I can presume no one improved because we went out on circuit, and so they didn't have de-glitch times. And we did gain by about 8 tenths, so we only needed 5.
You just hear their voice.
We got it though.
It doesn't really sound like
just in case the AI did improve. Don't normally when we do go out for a second run, because we're on circuit, and so the simulation isn't as favourable for the AI. But it don't matter.
7.
Because we don't care, we only care about us, and we're on pole.
And drove to Crofty.
And I'll let Crofty talk for now.
Intro. 58 laps, let's go.
Welcome to Abu Dhabi. We're just about to start today's race here at the Yas Marina circuit. It's a track known for its long back straight, which serves as a fantastic opportunity for overtaking. Going into the slow... Follow it. The drivers will be racing here at the Yas Marina circuit through 16 corners and a lap distance
Is it me or
of
is
around
just Crofty just got
3.28 miles. There are
louder?
a few opportunities to pass with long straights and DRS zones in 2 places, so plenty of close racing, then plenty of speed and plenty of drama to be found in the laps ahead. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying
I think I
session,
remember this
it's
issue.
time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Bottas, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Perez, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Magnussen, Carlos Sainz, Ocon, Gasly, Alex Albon, and Joe, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Sebastian Vettel, and Lance Stroll, Mick Schumacher, and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here. But
From that bottom left thing, I thought it was Dubai. Has that recently changed?
Stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid.
Well, seeing as that Bobby talked over everything, I'll talk over everything. The reason Crofty got louder was because my headphones disconnected, and so for whatever reason that means my game audio is now allowed to be louder. I'll have to look into that, see if I can just make the game audio naturally louder.
Mediums.
But
No hard.
and then that way, because at the moment you're not going to be able to hear Mark at all, because I'm not going to change the game audio levels.
6.
So if you really wanted to hear Crofty, but well, I was talking over him anyway, so it doesn't matter.
7.5.
And the pre-grid bit is just the standard waffle talking about the circuit.
9.
I'm sure you've probably heard it multiple times. So at the moment we're going for a medium hard strategy. A
looks
lot
good.
of people on sauce, minority of people on mediums. So we're going to join them. We're going to go medium hard, and also have a look at the medium soft.
52. Oh, okay, maybe not.
At the moment, the medium
24.
soft is quicker than
Okay.
the same strat, but with a
And
hard
there.
extra.
I almost
And
got that bang on. That was nice.
there we go, 5 seconds quicker. Can we go any quicker? Looks like it's slightly, but we can't go any more. Is
Okay,
it
so we can
quicker
switch
overall?
strategy
It
whenever
is
we want,
just quicker.
Although we're gonna go for that.
1
final
second.
one.
So we're going to go with the sauce.
Time where it gets too
Then-
high, we can just come in for the hard.
Yeah, like I'm
At the
saying,
end.
if the time was a bit harsh, we can come in. Realistically, we have 19 laps
how
to
much does it
decide.
change strategy if we go hard?
And
Start
so,
hards after 45. So here's what.
so
3.8.
I'm just debating whether I can change strategy if the tires get too harsh.
Wow, it loses 3 seconds.
And so
So we kind of want
we're
to
just
decide
having a look.
in this.
And
If we go
yeah, we're just
15,
saying that if I want to pit
that's
off
even
the
slower.
mediums
Wow,
and
okay.
switch over to hards at the end, that I've got a
So we want to decide
pit
early.
within. I've got to decide within those first
Okay,
19
cool.
laps,
Fuel
because otherwise it's not quicker. Which makes sense because that is the quickest variation of that strategy with the hards.
Could be battling, so I'll put in
So, without further ado,
under.
changing the fuel, and let's get
Everything
in.
else on medium, so
to
we won't
this
lose
race.
too much on the start. It would be nice on the
Hopefully we
start,
get
so we
a
wanna
good
save
start.
it for the end.
On pole position, it's a short
I
run
think the
into
other
turn
guys
1.
Probably could
So,
be going medium.
We just need an
Alright,
okay start, and then we'll be in the
let's
lead
see.
heading into turn 1.
And let's go win this.
Clutch bite is good, gearbox is responding normally. Make sure to warm up the tyres and
You might have just been able to hear Mark there. So here we are at the end. I think this is the first time you're going to be seeing me pull into my grid slot all game. Actually no, did see it in Brazil for the sprint. Into the grid slot we go, about 10 miles per hour, and then we get close, bring it down to 2, a little bit too early,
Damn it.
and we only get a green. As you hear, I said damn it.
That's fine.
I don't know if that's actually allowed, but anyway, 5 red lights are about to come on, and they are now out as we get underway. Again, okay start against Red Bull, however Charles is into P1 already. Red Bull is now on our inside as Les Lewis behind us and the other Red Bull of Perez trying to get past us, but they do not. So we stay third for now. Let's see if we can go chase after the Red Bull and get back past him. As Perez moves into 4th place, trying to go around the outside of Max, not able to do so early. Almost give Perez the chance to get back ahead of us, but it's fine as we head towards the middle sector chicane. As the race begins to calm down a little bit, and we try to get ourselves in a rhythm beginning lap 2. So if we can get past any of these drivers now before we get into a rhythm, that'd be nice, but if we get into a rhythm behind them, that's not bad either. Into turn 9, nothing doing there, not enough overspeed or any overspeed at all. Closing in through turn 9, but
At least
not enough
so quick.
to get through, and so we're just going to have to sit through behind in sector 3. Not bad, kind of used to this, done it before. So when I got damage or spun very early last season, I think it was. So end of lap 1 and being in lap 2. So here's why Lewis is in the pits.
Hamilton.
On board, beginning of the race, there's Bottas, able to get past him very early, and there's Perez on the inside, and Hamilton kind of just drives into him. Is it Perez's fault? Might be. Perez was on the very inside, had a tight line, however Lewis should have been able to see him, and even if he didn't, he could have avoided him, but Lewis is kind of going for the middle of the circuit. Should have followed the line that I did, because Bottas was on his inside anyway, so even if Bottas didn't back out, you probably would have made contact with Bottas. So you should have tried following our line, although we are a little bit wider of Charles. And then look at Perez, he's kind of climbing all over the curbs. So Lewis, yeah, it is really Lewis's fault because Perez wasn't really even on the circuit. Next up we have the Vettel and Stroll. And I believe we had a collision warning for one of these two drivers, so I'm gonna quickly bring that up, find out. Nope, my laptop's just died because I have not been able to keep it plugged in. My laptop's got an issue where if I don't keep it plugged in, it has no power. Oh. I really need to get it replacing.
There we go, there it is.
Ah yes, contact between the two teammates.
What are you doing?
And Vettel into the side of Stroll. Wasn't quite looking, but I do believe it
of the bottom 5.
Vettel's
be in next year's game.
fault, seeing as he was on the very inside. So now we're going to go back to me and see how we're doing on lap 2, the end of said lap. And thank you very much. No ability to use DRS at the moment, but well,
we broke from Checo,
effectively,
that's nice.
as I was saying, I've just broke away from Perez. How I managed to hit myself, I do not know. On to lap 4, and there goes Max looking at Charles. He's going to go around the outside, heading into turn 9. He's not alongside, but with a little wobble from Charles, he's able to get ahead. Is going to be able to make the move. Yes, he does, and is up into P1, heading into turn 12. Very good job from Max, if you ask me. Just making sure it is turn 12,
Max
because
is
otherwise I
just
could have got that
a
wrong.
when it comes to dive bombing.
So anyway, see if we can pounce on the Charles. He is a bit vulnerable now that Max has just overtaken him. So on the very same lap, heading,
Come on,
very lap
gain,
after,
gain.
gaining,
You got him.
as I'm saying, that pull towards the
Ladies and
outside.
gentlemen,
See, we're going to go right away around the outside, make sure that we don't go off the circuit, keep on the circuit, nicely done, hit the apex, give him a little bit of space on the outside, not too much that he can get a good run, but
and
enough
staying
that
within
he
DRS.
does,
Let's go.
that it does not warrant a penalty for us. And there we are, up into P5, P2, sorry. Let's go chase after Max now. End of that lap, and Delta's always green, which is nice to see. We will keep taking care of these tyres. Lap 6, we're going to have an attempt at Max, just like
Although I
Max
don't know
did,
if it's
to
long
get
enough.
in the lead. Will we be able to?
It is.
Not quite sure. Around the outside, heading into the corner. My headphones have just disconnected, so it's gone faded out. Sorry about that. A little bit of contact with Max, also goes onto the curb a little bit. And there's me trying to fix my headphones. Give myself a little bit of breather. I think my ear, they fell out my ear as well, so
A bit sketchy.
a little bit big break, but there we go. A little bit of contact. Don't think it's anyone's fault. We move on. I do have off-board replays, however I didn't think they'd be relevant for me, so I kind of removed them. So might have been a bad idea, however it don't matter. Thank you, Mark.
Even Mark knows.
We will use overtake, pull towards the inside, and are we ahead before the brake markers? Not quite, don't see him in the mirrors, there he is. Down on the inside, make sure we make the apex, don't leave no space, and we're through up into
There we go, that
P1,
worked.
and now we can pull away. I believe it will be a very
Now we just got to lose him.
quiet race from here. And like I said, just got to lose him. So if we can get out of DRS very early, that'd be good. Heading on to lap 8. Obviously he's still there, and very shortly. Very shortly we'll get out of DRS, although he's still there, and we're going back to our normal. I can presume that was 34.4, don't know why, it just sounds like a nice number. As you can see, Max has fallen away, just like Checo, and we're just going to build out that gap, keep doing so, and as you can see, I'm back to my normal format. I really like this way of doing it, so providing I get enough time, I'll go back to doing this. It just all depends on whether I have enough time. On to lap 12, we're going to have another highlight, this time for Pierre Gasly,
I do remember this.
if you can find him. Here he is, out of pit lane,
Just made a pit stop, lap 12.
and
Where was
on
it? Oh,
lap
yeah.
12 you may have just been able to see from the leaderboard at the beginning of this highlight
Ricardo,
that
not quite ahead. Although Ricardo might have a shot at him.
that
With the DRS
Gasly,
on
sorry,
this first
is
straight,
going to
towards the
retire.
inside, let's go with the
Just
recovery.
finding out why,
On the outside is Pierre Gasly.
as he has
Can't do
just been
anything.
overtaken by Ricardo.
And
He has just come
Ricardo
into the
is
pits,
starting
so
P15.
we're going to see
Although they fight back through
if
the through
anything's
the middle of
gone
the chicane.
wrong as he heads
Down the
towards
back
turn
straight.
9, losing out, and
Gasly
there
then
is
engages
a
up,
little bit of
gives
smoke, yellow
And
flags,
so
pulls over
straight on
to
feet,
the
no
right hand
more.
side of the circuit.
Pull over to the side of the circuit.
I have an echo. I shouldn't stream because it's actually a bit annoying.
And
He's out of the race. There we go. So here we are, lap 12.
Can't remember the original strategy they had. I know it weren't lap 19, so they'll probably pit later. Practice in quali.
Yeah, so
you don't get your
that's
laps
me talking
completed.
about medium, hard. Can't remember when the first mediums would have been. But the tyres are doing quite fine at the moment. So we don't need to worry about that, we can stick with the medium, soft. as we head over to lap 15 and making sure that my controller does not disconnect again as we head on to lap 16. Very consistent on lap times, although that lap was a second down. However, as long as we're not a second down on the second lap in the race, it's fine. And since we got green
Thank you, mate.
deltas on that lap, on that personal best several times, it'll be fine.
No, thank you, mate.
Sticking with the original strategy. I kind of ignored that. I didn't realise. Anyway, on to lap 19. Wow, I really ignored many radio messages. When I said that this editing is a little bit choppy, I really meant it. Mediums for lap 22 on lap 20 at the moment. Heading on to lap 21. Hitting the next lap. And so we can start pushing the tyres. We are gaining, the fuel is coming down a lot more than I expected. So we could have underfueled a little bit more. And we come into the pit lane. No cutting the white lines. Heading into the box. No making sure no speeding. Are we going to get a turn in?
Miles per hour.
There we go. Into the lane.
Yeah, technically
Off the medium tyres onto another set. A little bit of slow release.
Not really. I couldn't release.
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
Heading down
Good catch
out of
on
the pit
that.
lane. Back onto the circuit. Yep, just one stop. And it'll be a nice and late pit stop, around 45. No late race safety cars, hopefully, as we head on to lap 24. We are P3 at the moment. Charles and Mac are yet to box, but slowly and surely we will catch up, just like the fuel delta. And as you can see, these new tyres working really well already a second quicker than the personal best that we had. And as you can see, we are closing in on the two drivers ahead as we head onto lap 26. There's a yellow flag and there's Max pulling over the side of the race.
Max is out.
And we're going to see it. Here's Max coming around the final corner, and nothing really happens, just pulls over.
Engine blowout.
Probably electrical failure somewhere, one of the ERS units. It's fine, we don't care. Gains us an extra position and extra points. So, catching up to Charles, and on the next lap we should be able to overtake him. So here we are, heading out turn 5, heading towards turn 6. Got the DRS, ERS flowing, pull towards the inside. Charles is going to defend that a bit. We're going to go move to the outside. Going to try and stick to the middle of the circuit, although drift towards the outside a little bit. Go a little bit deep, give him enough space, don't go off the circuit, hit the apex. He's already behind us, and we can pull away. Is his DRS on this straight going to be any damage? No, we are P1. And here we are at the end of that lap, and we've already got quite a good gap to him already. So he'll be out of our DRS range in a couple of laps. In fact, it looks like he's already outside that DRS range. So we just got to control this race now, make sure we don't do any mistakes, and just look after these tyres as Mark suggests. And so, as we already passed the halfway point in this race, it's looking good.
Why am I?
Yep. Accidentally pressed the button for radio. Not this time though.
Well,
So Lewis on a good recovery at the moment. 6 positions, obviously because of 2 retirements. See if you can get into the points, give us some extra points. We don't need it, but it'd be nice. And obviously
I mean, the premium
build up a gap
1.2
for
was
when
expected.
I inevitably retire in a couple of races. No Merc blowouts this race at the moment, so the total is going to stay below 25. So if we do get 0 retirements, do not be surprised. It is most likely that we get 0 or 1. No more than that
Definitely
is
to you. Does not
expected.
mean I get to hit. You get to hit me.
There's
I know
science.
that from Miami now.
There's science behind us. Blue flags. I think he may have just hit us by what I was saying.
That's calm.
But why is science so far behind us? Well, here
Why is he now
is
behind us?
why. Came
Oh,
into
got
the pits
fucking
lap
damage.
35.
That's pretty cool.
Why did he come into the pits? Well,
What did he do? He was fine with Ocon.
fighting with Ocon
Oh,
and
no,
heading into turn 9
because
on the outside of the corner.
anyway,
A little bit wide
inboard
from
little bit of
Ocon.
contact.
Little contact. Is there going to be any front wing damage to Science?
Lewis on that one.
Can't see it. There it is. No front left
Yeah,
end plate.
Lewis up to the
And so
level.
we had to come into the box. And so we were able to lap him.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Turn off mark again. Heading on to lap
More
39.
advice on where I'm braking.
All due respect to Science, he is sticking with us. So it's a little bit unfortunate how Science's race has unfolded. Where did foil come from? However, we are helping him quite nicely. Even maybe we might even be holding him up, so maybe not. But it don't matter. Change strategy. Are we going to accept it?
They both say 45, right?
Okay. Yep, not a surprise really.
They've done 26 laps on those tyres. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1.
I believe that was Charles behind us that we were talking about. As we catch up to some more back markers, as we think about pit stop for lap 45, as Stroll,
Latifi and Schumacher,
Yep.
yeah.
Stroll lets us go. Might have been Vettel actually.
A lot of VMS.
And into the pit lane, cutting the white line a little bit. There's a lock up. However, no penalty. Into the lane, no speeding.
Right, no speeding. Very
And
good.
we are going to change over to softs. Purple turning. A little bit slow stop. Release.
Job from you and the crew there, mate.
Nice and good. Let's go.
It was a little slow from me, but it's fine.
Okay, it was a little bit slow for me. That's
I'll
fine.
get a little bit higher.
Coming out of the box
Strategy complete.
on the soft tyres. Got 12 laps to go. Should be easy victory. Just got to bring it home now.
Seconds. They're on old mediums. We think they've
On lap 46, quite a calm race actually. Should stream more often, get calm
Yeah,
races
that's
when I do that. As we head towards the final 11 laps. Green sector lap times all over the place. Green fuel delta, looking good. Kind of curve a little bit, gain us some extra time. No actual track limit warning, so it's fine. And we just keep pushing forward, making no mistakes, looking good.
And the best answer.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Yeah, it's actually quite boring when you've got nothing to talk about. And surprisingly, this video is still going to be an hour long. Do you know why? Because I'm still doing the debrief at the end.
7 more laps to go.
I will be cancelling that from now on though, because, well, kind of just a waste of time. Not that useful, and it was really boring. I found myself playing with things in my room in the background when speaking, so you may even be able to hear it sometimes.
5 to go.
So yeah, 5 laps to go, heading on to lap 55. No late race safety car, no Latifi mishaps, which is very nice. Bit surprising seeing as this is in my headcanon 2021, so no late race, no late race safety car to change the championship, obviously because we have already won. Lap 56, catch back up to Science, let's go. Lap 57, heading on to lap 58, one more lap to go.
Okay, this is your final lap of the race.
And so we're going to come across the line to win the final race of the season. Let's go.
Victory! Come on!
Let's go-y.
Let's go!
I misheard myself. The stream will be uploaded as something separate on my spare channel. So if you do want to watch through the whole of that, feel free. But you don't need to.
Let's go, team.
Tell me, how do you think they were able to
My
deliver
earphones
such
have spat out my ear.
incredible result today?
Why do I keep ignoring
Probably can't
Crofty?
hear me.
Okay. If he's going to ignore Crofty, I'm going to ignore Crofty. Yeah, very clean
There you
race.
go, I can hear
Alpine on the
now.
podium.
Let's
Actually
go.
quite a surprise. If anyone else was going to be on the podium, I would have expected Bottas, you know, seeing as he started 4th. However, he did drop a lot heading into turn 1 at these 2 positions, so maybe not so much of a surprise.
Let's go.
Yep. Another victory to add
P1.
to the cabinet. Hopefully a lot more.
Charles P2, Alonso P3.
Actually, to be honest, it'll be roughly the same in Championship 89 as it is a much difficult series. Will we be able to get the victory? Hopefully. I will try to make sure that I don't retire from as many. If we do get as many victories this season as we do in Championship 89, it is definitely likely that we will rock the world in that season. Because if we're close to the top, then I don't think there's any chance of stopping us. As long as we're consistent, don't allow Max, most likely our rival, to get many points, and we'll be good. So there we go. Full 26 points over Max's 0. Fastest lap by at least 5, roughly 5 tenths. Looks like Charles was the second fastest driver. So there we go.
Really? It's the end of the season, you don't even have the code or lines available to say we'll see you next season.
So
Yeah.
Crofty was saying see you
Yeah,
next
unfortunately,
time,
Lewis dropped
not
down
next
from
season.
fifth, but a great
Which-
recovery to get back to
Kind of a surprise actually. So yeah, no more Merc blowouts. Latifi just lapped down as always on a longer circuit.
All the way down to P13 again.
Science not able to make a good recovery.
I think he
Lewis,
has to do a-
an okay
yeah, he
recovery
might
to
hit
8th.
that one with Lewis.
Not the worst I've seen
There's a
actually,
pit stop lead,
so it's not too
Yeah.
bad.
Charles.
And
Up everyone
so
from 13.
I'm waiting for me to move over to the championship. There we go. P1.
Spoilers for the
Charles
standings,
moves up into
got
second
109
with
points.
Lewis's poor race, and Charles's
And-
P2.
With Lewis's poor result, Charles has jumped him into P3. Where the hell has that come from, Charles?
Let me see. Brazil and
And it's not even
Abu
by
Dhabi.
what, 1 point, it's by 8.
yeah, 8 points. So obviously I wasn't clearly.
F123 is still at 3%.
This tells you how far in advance some of these races
Constructors'
have been done. I didn't even
Easy dub,
look at the
200
championships.
points to Red Bull. Ferrari in the
Constructors,
bottom in the
no
end.
change for like the past 5 races.
Wow, Charles, mad lad.
So yeah,
Can't remember
if we just
fully
do
the
what
all
Charles
results,
did,
I don't know.
be
Maybe one day
consistent,
check.
get higher finishing results, we'll eventually win
Shining on me. Why are you shining? on
the
me?
championship next season. New game. I've given myself
know,
2-week break in between this season and the next one. We will start off with a AI test just to see how
Shield
much
mode.
quicker the AI are on the new game.
What the hell's shield mode?
and whether they are quicker or not. If they're not quicker, that would be quite nice, but if they are, we just got to work harder, which isn't that bad. It means we're going to have fun races, and it means I won't be searching for stuff to talk about,
Oh,
like in this one.
okay. Basically blocks. Stuff you don't want.
So while I talk about something random in the background, I hope I
Okay.
quickly move over
Stop
to
shining at me.
the race
Anyway,
director.
I
I know
took
that I do
6
so.
screenshots at the end. So that's the drivers, constructors,
Just waiting for me to do so. There we go. And the audio will cut out now, purely because I am taking screenshots for me to use for the Monday morning debrief and the race lap graph. For future reference, I probably will be doing the race lap graph as well.
Have to wait like
It'll probably
5
just be
seconds to
itself,
actually press it.
its own thing in the background. But I think
How
that's
many
all.
incidents? Only 4.
Yeah, only 4 things.
And it's the Astons having a collision in lap 1, Gasly retiring, and Max retiring.
So yeah, we already showed you them. We already showed you all of
Everything
those
you
4. So no need to show you again.
Someone else has to change
I was
the
smart, put them in the middle of the race.
Well, there you go.
Maybe not so, because it's a race.
And there we go.
And normally you don't get highlights mid-race.
34.
However, if you're watching, you do. So, and since you're watching, not doing the race, you get highlights. And that's what this is.
And that was it.
So, I haven't got anything else to talk about. So I'll
Where did everyone
quickly
finish
hand
that
you
was
over
leaving us?
to
The
the
highest was Ricardo in 9th.
race debrief
Schumacher 16th. Vettel
at the
17th,
end.
and Latifi 18th. Latifi was at 4 stop. Anyway, let's open up the notepad.
Honestly, I have no idea what I'm talking about. With Latifi and Ricardo and all that, probably comparing the
And in the meantime,
amount
I'll
of
just
strategies.
show the highlights.
And
Take my headphones out.
as I'm about to hand you over to highlights in the stream, I'm going to hand you over to the race debrief, which will then hand you over to the highlights at the end. So I hope you enjoyed this format again. As long as it doesn't take too much time, I'll be doing it more regularly.
No, I haven't.
And so, yeah. Hope you enjoyed the races. Hope you enjoyed the race. This is coming out after the race. So yeah, whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. Welcome to the Monday morning debrief of the final Grand Prix of the season and the final one with Bobbi here with us as he moves over to Championship 89 next season. And we wish him all the luck and success in the future categories. So yeah, today is the Monday morning review of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. In attendance we have Bobbi Winter, the driver, Mark Priestley, his race engineer, Toto Wolff, the team principal of the team, and Rosie Waite, the head of strategy. It was a very good weekend, nice win, and by a comfortable margin. And let's see how we did it, and any comments or questions that need clearing up. So let's go straight into the result. Bobbi, you won the race with Charles Leclerc in second place and Fernando Alonso in third, rounding out the podium. Lewis was down in 8th place with Verstappen out of the race in P19 from a retirement. So we have no bad point, very clearly, as we won the race with fastest lap and Verstappen retired from the race. If you can find a bad point from that, go ahead, be my guest.
but you got to do it whilst also trying to be, whilst trying not to look for one. You can't go digging for one. It's kind of got to be on the surface. So, how does it affect the Drivers' Championship? Bobbi, we finish out with you on top, with Max in second place, and unfortunately just at the end with Charles's good result in P2 and Lewis's P8. Charles moves up into third place in the Drivers' Championship, knocking Lewis down into fourth. We have no bad point, and of course we do not need any more good points or bad points anymore, really, seeing as it's the final Grand Prix of the season. So as there's nothing left to say, we can move swiftly on to the Constructors' Championships. Constructors' Championship, no plural. Where it follows the same sort of pan. Mercedes on top, finishing in P1. Red Bull finish in P2 with Ferrari finishing P3. Very comfortably P1 as well. We have no bad points, just like the Drivers' Championship, and we also do not need any more good points since we have won the Constructors and we have definitely finished clear and at the top by a long way, over 200 points I believe that says. So well done team, well done both drivers, well done strategy, and yeah, well done Toto for managing the team in the right way to get the result. Next up we have the race lap graph, kind of flying through these. Such a good weekend, there's not much to dwell on. The race lap graph contained 3 stints, 2 of which were on the mediums, 1 of which on the softs at the end, and they were very good stints. No yellows across the entire race except the pit stops and lap 1, despite overtaking several times. Stint 1, very close to a straight line. There was a little quick lap around lap 6, however it's fine. Second stint on the mediums, again very similar, quite close to a flat line. And then the final stint, not so much a flat line, however, still a line at best, and very consistent to stay within 1 second of the target time every lap of this race. So yeah, I was a little bit picky on this one. The final stint was not flat compared to the others. However, we had no yellow laps and the medium stints were near flat, which is hence the first one. So yeah, not really anything to note, just the fact that we had great pace and we were able to use it correctly and without losing any performance to any of the drivers also trying to win. So very good job there. So last but not least, we have the 8 images that sum up the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Here they are. Bobbi, you sent in Q3 the first laps and Q3 result. Mark, you sent in the second overtake on Charles and the Drivers' Championship. Toto, you sent in the race results and the first laps of Q1. And Rosie, last but not least, you sent in the lap 7 overtake on Max and the race result. So without further ado, let's get straight into the images and not waste any time. So, Bobbi, your 2 images came with the subtitle text of I had to do a second lap for Q3 in Q3 for pole position, and I got pole position in qualifying 3. Both are very linked, and technically one would not happen without the other one. But yeah, Q3 did start off a little bit rough. Not good enough for pole position, only a top 5 position, which isn't that bad. However, pole position is quite nice, and you showed you were able to get it by getting pole position. So yeah, a bit touch and go, but it's fine. It's not like it's really impacted you in any way, and yeah, three extra positions on the grid is quite nice. So next up we have Mark, your 2 images, which came with the subtitle text of we had to overtake Charles twice to win the race, and Verstappen retired from the race, so we finished with 109 points to him. So yes, we did have to overtake Charles twice. The first time was due to a poor start, and the second time was due to a undercut from the Ferrari boys. Now the first one, a little bit out of control, however, we have had good starts before, so not really an excuse to not have one now. You do need to work on them. You can't just blame it on the throttle pedal. You do need to get used and try to adapt to the broken pedal. I know it's too late for us to fix anything now. However, it still is important that you get used to your equipment and use it to the best of its ability. However, Verstappen retired from the race. Oh, sorry, didn't even talk about the second overtake. Yeah, second overtake, undercut from Charles. Very simple. We decided that younger tyres towards the end of the race was going to be better. And to be honest, we didn't even need the younger tyres anyway, seeing as we brought out a pit stop gap with all our tyres anyway that we used. So we just had the pace. And we had the pace all season. However, sometimes we didn't show it, sometimes we got a bit cocky, sometimes we made mistakes. And unfortunately, we've had some bad luck. However, we didn't have the bad luck. Max got it this race, and he retired from the race once again. And so we gained 26 points over him, and so the gap is 109 points, which gives us plenty of margin in case of any retirements later. So on to you, Toto, your 2 images, which talk about Lewis. Really, Lewis dropped P9 in the race, and Q1's first laps were very good. So yeah, Lewis unfortunately got damage on lap 1, so it wasn't his fault that he had to pit. Although arguably, maybe, can't remember it anymore now. Could be arguably Lewis's fault, but I do think he was very innocent in that, but I'll have to check again. Either way, it sent him to the back. No safety car to help him like Mexico, so he had to do it all by himself. And to get all the way up into P9 is quite good. Would prefer higher up, but with the competitiveness of the grid, it's not really a surprise. And then Q1's lap were very good. So yeah, that was why it was a little bit of a surprise that Lewis didn't get as high as he did in the race. I would have thought there would be much more of an impact. And it's even in Q3, I thought he would have been a little bit higher. He wasn't, and so we just had to deal with it. And yeah, give him a little kick up the bum saying, hey, we know you got the space, just get on with it and do the job. Did it, just couldn't replicate it in any of the other sessions. So, last but not least, Rosie, your 2 images about the strategy. They came with the subtitle text I was stuck behind first until lap 7, and we finished an entire pit stop ahead of Charles. So yeah, we did take till lap 7 to get past up into first after losing the lead lap 1, turn 1. Not really much to say. Would have been nice to get a little bit quicker, but obviously when you're at this high end, DRS is your only tool, and so the earliest realistically we could have got was lap 4, so we did lose 3 laps theoretically, but it was fine. You won the race anyway, and it didn't matter, Max retired, so it's not like you actually had to overtake him, but it would have been nice to build up a big gap like we did. Yeah, so we could have pitted for another set of softs at the end. Obviously we didn't need to, and it would have been a waste because we didn't have any new softs. We were on those at that point. So yeah. Yeah, build up a gap, very good gap. And so we could afford a mistake, but we never made a mistake, so it didn't matter anyway. But it's nice to showboat about a massive performance difference like that in our favour. So, if no one's got any questions, thank you for listening to the final Monday morning debrief. This one being of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So I wish you all luck in the higher categories, Bobbi, and yeah, just have fun and go get some trophies. So this is normal me now. I am somewhat tired for this. I don't know why. I'm pretty much going straight to bed after this. I'm practically falling asleep at this point. Not even got my eyes open. And technically didn't have them open for about half the PowerPoint. So yeah. Very good season, really enjoyed it. There was a couple of points where I wasn't enjoying it, but overall, really enjoyed it. And I can't wait for F123. Haven't looked at much of it. All I really know is that there's Breaking Point 2 and red flags. And yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, if there is anything new, I'll be trying to have a look at it in the final week of releasing these videos, which is next week. The last one should be Saturday. So it's looking good. Although, like I say here, I don't think I might struggle in Championship 89. Seeing as, well, it is quite a jump, and we're getting close to the AI that I was racing at before we started this. So, yeah. But if it's close, is going to be fun, and that's what I want. So I'll see you all in the AI test, and the next time you'll see a race is on F1. Will be on F123. So let's go. Bye.